as you're doing this, you can start to take slow, deep breaths through your nose if possible. And if it's not possible, obviously, you're not going to be doing that. You'll be breathing through your mouth unless you have gills. And sometimes in this weather, I wish I had gills. If you haven't switched direction, switch direction. And then gently shake everything out, wiggle everything out. And then pull your knees back in towards your chest. Keep your hands behind your knees and start to straighten your legs again, bending and straightening just a couple of times. If possible, flexing your feet as you're doing that. And that might feel like a lot of sensation through the backs of your legs, maybe through your hamstrings and your calves. Now drop your left foot down onto the ground. Keep your right leg up and press your heel up towards, in the general direction of up. I was going to say towards the ceiling, but sometimes our legs down here and just the general direction of up. So you're lifting your leg as much as possible, flexing your foot and pressing your heel up. And you can ground into that lower foot for support here, if that feels like a good thing to do. Now bend and straighten your knee a couple of times. Again, keeping your foot flexed as you're moving. Really squeezing your quads as you're straightening that leg. And the next time your leg is bent, bring your knee out to the side and bring your hand, if it's possible, slide it up your calf to where it wants to go. If it's possible to bring it around the sole of your foot, you can do that. But you could have it behind the back of your knee. You could have it along your calf, and you might have it around the sole of your foot. These are all fine options. You're bringing your knee over towards your armpit, pressing your foot into your hand and your hand into your foot, grounding down through your hips so you're not rolling over towards your right leg, but keeping both sides of your hips grounded on the floor. It might help to bring your left arm out. And then if you would like to try straightening your left leg, you can do that. So we're in half happy baby. Is this happy? I don't know. To me, this is not as happy as full happy baby, but it tends to be maybe a little more intense, maybe requires a little more focus and a little more energy. Can you just breathe fully here? Whatever version you're in. I mean, don't feel like you have to force one version or another. And then if you have slid your left leg out straight, bend it again, place your foot on the ground, and bring your right ankle over your left knee for Sucharandrasana. So you'll start pressing your right knee down towards your mat and decide, would you like to lift your left leg up, maybe holding on behind your knee, maybe holding on in front of your shin on that left leg. So you're aiming to feel a stretch or get a stretch through the right outer hip here. You can be still, or you could find some movement here. Sometimes I find that rocking from side to side just gently kind of moves that sensation of stretch around in my outer hip. And that might be true for you, it might not be. As you're ready, you can let that go. Place both feet down and then pull your left knee in and bend and straighten that leg a few times, flexing your foot again. You can have your hand behind your knee if that help support you here, or you could just not. And then pause and really press that heel up towards the sky, squeezing through your quads to hold your leg here, really pressing your heel up. Now bend that knee, and same thing on this side. You're going to be pulling your knee out towards your left armpit. And you can keep your hand behind your knee. You might slide it up your calf, or maybe wrap it around the sole of your foot for a half happy baby. And then the possibility of stretching your right leg out straight on your mat. So they're all options. There's no one version of the pose for everyone. You have to play around with these options and find your particular version of it. And can you continue breathing long, slow, deep breaths? And maybe notice, is there anything happy about this posture? If your right leg is straightened out, bring your foot back to the floor, knee bent, and then come into Sucharandrasana by bringing your left ankle over your right knee. And maybe that's the happy part of that half happy baby. It's over. So find your version of Sucharandrasana. And you might notice, does it feel different on this side? One of the things I'm noticing is that this left side of me seems uh, curiously more tight than the other side. As you're ready, you can let that